Welcome to the Star Podcast.
Whoa. Star Podcast.
Welcome to the Star Podcast, hosted by Natt. Each week, we share tips and stories from safety, trucking, and recruitment, and everything in between. Listen now. Welcome back to another episode of the Star Podcast. Today I'm speaking with Mark Arnold, who's the Vice President of Natt Safety Services. And Mark has joined us before on episode 16. He shares information about confined space training. And in episode 43, he comes on to speak about the confined space mobile unit at Natt Safety Services. So today I just wanted to dive in a little bit more so that Mark could share more into the confined space rescue world. And he shares a few stories and a little bit of insight into who might need to work with Natt Safety. He shares some information about what he's most excited about in the business, and we have a good chat. So it's always fun to speak with Mark. So listen now. So I'm very excited to welcome Mark Arnold back to the show. I didn't realize, but we had already done 2 episodes together, episode 43 talking about the confined space mobile unit and episode 16 talking about confined space training. So if anyone wants to go back and listen to those, they were both good. So welcome, Mark.
Hi, Leslie. How are you? I didn't realize I did 2. I can only recall 1. So that's, I'll go back to the one most recent is the one I can recall the most. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So I was hoping for anyone who maybe wasn't familiar with you or they hadn't heard your previous episodes, if you could just share a little bit about yourself and what you do for the company. I
don't want to bore everybody from where I'm from, but I will say I'm a Manitoulin Islander. I'll just say that. I have lived in Lively now since 1985, married with 2 kids, 2 grandchildren, and I started with the business in September 11th, 2001 with Kevin. So I've been here a long time, since day one. Pretty exciting from what we've started with to where we're at today. It's I do have those days where as you get older, they're pinch me moments, meaning I can't believe we got to where we're at, but I know one thing, it never come easy. It was a lot of hard work, but working with a lot of good people too. So that's what it's all about. Good people and good clients. And
that's amazing.
And having good health too to do it. Be able to last as long. Longevity shows well.
Absolutely. That's very important. I was hoping, since one of your many specialties is the confined space rescue services that's offered, I just hope that you could expand on that and what exactly Natt Safety offers. Just go into a little bit more detail about that.
The rescue services, I'm going to have to say we have many heartbeats to the business, but I would have to say this is the biggest heartbeat. It's accelerated us to where we're at today and our industrial services side. We're the footprint, it's east to west, I should say. We pretty much cover the whole province of Ontario with growth and acquisitions. The rescue service we provide to all industries. And I find I think I've said this in the past too, it's like it's a need that you need to do. Like if a business has got a safety portfolio and they need to do jobs which involve confined space, we're an obvious fit to make that happen. We have some really longevity contracts. I don't want to get into those as long as 2015. We've built a scheduling team around that service, and now we're performing that, like I said, right across the province. Great clients everywhere, from the east to the west, and the north is obviously blossoming. We're very fortunate to live in the north, I have to be honest. And the mining world is the mining world, and it's a big part of what we do every day. There's confined space needs. Then we see where a little local community has a lift station somewhere and a water treatment plant and needs our help, we will be there. What we like about what we do is we've become experts at it because we do it every day.
Right.
And we do I call it the turnkey package, or whatever way you want to put it is. We can do it all. We can issue the permits or be involved in the permits. We can lead the way when it comes to the risk assessments. We build the rescue plans. We supply the qualified staff. We support them with the proper training, which is the qualifications. And obviously, any kind of gas detection needs to be done. Our people are very in tune with the risks, meaning managing them and operating accordingly within them. Confined space is 632-05. That regulation's large and proud. We look at it every day from an expert standpoint. We have to bring that and look at it to our clients, make sure everything's being followed to protect our people and their people. So at the end of the day, it's all about getting everybody home every night to their families. So that's the ultimate goal.
So if a company thought they might need Natt Safety to go to provide confined space rescue services, but they're not exactly sure what they need, can you go in and give them a plan, or how does that process work?
We do a lot of that. Yes, exactly. And because a company will say, I'll need it, but maybe they only do it once a year. And it's could be construction company XYZ. It could be a school where there's they got to do a lot of work in the basement or under the flooring or whatever. And yeah, we come in and we look at the whole thing. We do a site assessment. We tell them what we see. We recommend what is needed. And then obviously we're participating in actually execution side of it. So putting together the team, putting together the proper equipment and all the paperwork that follows. So we do a lot of it. And we do a lot. And actually, in segueing to that now, a lot of organizations are reaching out because of our confined space expertise and helping them build their actual management programs for their site, especially I'm going to call it junior mining companies. They have some, have what they need, but they've asked us to come in and build. We just did one recently for an organization up in north of Timmins, and now we're going to go in and manage their shutdown for them to get it started, get them a little more in tune with what we do, because we do it. As I said to one of our clients in the East 2 weeks ago, we've done so much work, we bring a ton of experience to the table. And I can tell you, we can bring a lot of bad ideas, but we can bring in a lot of good because of what we've seen. And it's back. Safety to me is all about sharing now. That's where we're at. It's sharing information, sharing intel, having good conversations, and making it better. That's the whole goal of it all.
Can you share a few insights into the other industrial offerings, like safety plans or audits and that kind of thing?
Safety plans. Like I mentioned, management systems, safety plans. We do that all the time. We do auditing. We've been consulting. We'll say you ask us to come into a construction site and do a safety overview. We can. We'll make the recommendations to the superintendent on site, what we see, what changes need to happen. On the side of that, we have a training division that supports if training is needed. It's all about, like I said, sharing, right? And what I'm really excited about lately is we're getting a lot more opportunity, just segueing into the training side when it comes to developing. There's a compliance side of training, but then there's a specific side of the training to the site we're working on, and building that maybe a little more policies and procedures into that program. Let's say confined space entry and awareness, working heights. Working heights, it's a compliance program approved by the Ministry of Labor, but we can add some of the policies and procedures for that specific company when our trainers facilitate. And it's sort of, especially for new hires, it's more information they need, not just to do the job from a working height standpoint, but actually do their job with that training as a background. Gives them a good foundation to start, right?
Absolutely. I think
job specific, really, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, job specific, for sure. So then they actually can see it being applied in their specific work site and their industry. I think that's very important.
Yeah, we talked about, actually the other day was a client when we talked about WMIS and TDG. So we'll just speak WMIS. WMIS is a program, compliance program, but specific to the site. Say you deal with cleaning products in your house. We'll train you on what you deal with every day and go through those specifics. So it's like forklifts. We do a ton of forklift training, but I always say do the practical on the piece of equipment you're using every day versus something you're foreign to, right? Familiarity, right. Yeah, it's huge, right? It's and blocking a certain amount of time for training is good. It's you always want to hit the minimum, but if it takes a little longer because they're new, then so be it.
Right. So I know you mentioned a couple of things you're excited about, but what's one thing that you're really excited about that's happening in the business, or is there something new happening?
Business-wise? Yeah, there's I'm excited about a lot of things. Well, there's specifics for sure within the word a lot, I guess you might say, but growth, obviously. The footprint, you can tell we're really, the foundation for years was here, but now that foundation is spreading. Growing the people, I'm excited about that. Mentoring people, I'm excited about that. Seeing people grow, I'm very excited about that because I can see there's, over time, they're cherishing the business as much as we have over the 20-some years we've been at this thing. So it's you got to be engaged in it, and you got to have a passion for it, right? So
absolutely,
it's nice to see that sparkle in their eye when something comes to fruition that's really good, and it's been a good day, and then you got to have the bad days to understand what a good day is too, right? So
that's
just excited to be still doing it too. How's that?
I think you definitely have a good team, and there's a lot of people that you deal with, I think, that are really passionate about what they do. So that's exciting to see.
Yeah, it's funny lately, just as of today in the last half an hour, like an organization we're talking about, partnering with and working with. And the one gentleman said you can feel the good vibe if that means anything, or good culture we've developed. And that's what it's all about, right? We got a good culture. We work hard. We're a good team, and we continue to do so.
I think that's very important. I mean, you're working in safety. You need to be able to trust each other. You need to want to keep people safe, want to keep each other safe. So I think that's good. A company culture is an excellent thing to have, for sure.
Yeah, we're not shy of questioning each other. I think because if we had just we all have to stay in our lane, obviously, because we got our responsibilities, but I wouldn't say question each other, but question each other when it comes to, okay, are we doing the right thing here? Don't be shy to ask for another set of eyes to have a look at it. You're good at what you do, but it doesn't mean you're not perfect either. Like there's sharing information, but sharing problems too. It goes back and forth. Yeah, that's just how we've grown. I think we've grown because of that too. It's not, if you walked around all day with blinders on, you're not going to go anywhere as far as I'm concerned. But you got to, it's growing and you continue to grow. The business grows, the individuals grow.
So if someone listening right now thinks, okay, I need a safety audit, or I need a safety plan for my work site, maybe they need to change confined space rescue services, that kind of thing, should they reach out to you? Should they send you an email, or what's the best way to start that process?
I'd say a couple of years ago, I would say reach out to me, but now with the changes, I would say reach out to our account management team and our sales manager. That's the first step. Then from that, we will definitely get involved. Let the account managers lead the way. That's what they're trained to do. How's that? And they're quite qualified, and they'll take that customer to where they need to be within the organization to get the product they deserve.
Perfect. So they can just email info@nattsafety.com and they can get set up with one of the account managers and they can start the process. So
yeah, that would be, yes, that's the way to start.
I appreciate you coming on. It's always nice to chat and just get an update of new things that are happening, and just to keep the confined space rescue at the forefront, because it's such an important part of the business.
Well, it is very important, and like you said, like what's exciting me, and I still say it's the people side for sure. Business is one thing, but the people, and at the end of the day, it's all about the people. It's all about the clients we work for. The customers we only have one thing, and I believe Kevin mentioned it the other day in Huddle, is all we got to supply is service, and that's what it's all about.
Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you again.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Star Podcast.
Wow. Star Podcast.